Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Mark, stock market jobber. People are like, what's the stock market jobber? Well, I'm a big history buff. And back in the old days, like after the Revolutionary War, when the government was forming, you had the Hamiltonians that were into banks and stocks and markets, and you had the Jeffersonians who, frankly, didn't even understand um, business and finance. just like Democrats don't now. But anyway, so one of the insults the Jeffersonians used to use to the Hamiltonians was like, you're a stock market jobber. So anyway, I thought it was pretty cool. And the reason why I bring this up is because tomorrow I am going to a event for the CMT Association downtown in the city. If you are there, let me know. Hit me up at marketstockmarketjobber.com. It's like 7 o'clock. It's right by Trinity Church. So I'm going to make my pilgrimage to Alexander Hamilton's grave, which is in Trinity Church. Okay, enough of that. Let's go see what we can see. All right, kind of a big move down on the SPY, 1.4%. You know, I don't even know if I can say this enough. It's like, forget the news. People are saying like, oh, it's down because of politics, it's down because of this, right? Markets. All right, let me just bring that back. Okay, the market's down because of the Trump attempted assassination. Okay, market's down. Let's just take a look back. If the market was down here, was there a attempted assassination there? The market was down here. Did that happen? One of the most egregious things I've seen in a long time, and one of our students brought this up. Okay, so here's the dollar index. So yesterday, actually Monday, right? The thing happened on Saturday, so this was the first day the markets were open. The media is like, the dollar is rallying on the Trump assassination attempt. Okay. If you didn't know about the news and you saw this, would you think this was a special day? No, of course not. The market sold off. It got to a level that was support before. We know there's tended to be supportive former support levels. That's it. Forget the news. The new. The only thing that's right is the market. Okay, you could be wrong. I can be wrong. The gurus can be wrong. The news is always wrong. If you were on a tropical island somewhere and you didn't have the news and you saw your chart, would you think that this was a big day? Of course not. All right. Anyway, let's go check this out and see where the weakness is coming from. See if we can figure out how to profit from it. Wow, big move down in tech. Man, look at that. Down about 3.9%. I'm kind of starting to think that maybe this is more than just profit taking. I mean, this is, let me tell you something. As like a former institutional trader, if you're given it, it's one thing if you're a retail trader, you're like buying 100 shares or 50 shares or whatever. But if you're an institutional trader and you have like 100,000 shares to buy or 300,000 shares to sell, you have to give your broker instructions. Okay, a buy side trader, a hedge fund, an investment firm, a mutual fund has to trade through a broker. So if you're the buy side trader, you give the trader who's at the broker your instructions. This is just like you tell your broker, get me the F out of this, man. I don't care about the price. See, like in a market here where we're going sideways, it's kind of like I would tell my broker, all right, dude, whatever, man. Not much going on. Just take your time, see if you can get a better price. Just work it, not held. I would say not held. Not held means instructions of you're not really held to any obligations. You use your own discretion. This is like, dude, get me out. I don't even care. Be aggressive. This is aggressive selling, and there's probably going to be some follow through. All right, let's look at Microsoft. Yeah, weakness there. This is what I was saying. If Microsoft breaks the support, the broader markets are going to move lower. People kind of only don't even seem to talk about Microsoft anymore. It's NVIDIA and like fat loss stocks. But Microsoft is still the biggest stock in the market, and you need to pay attention to it if you're a trader. We're talking trading now. We're not talking like long-term buy and hold. Apple, kind of some weak action there. Let's look at NVIDIA. So, wow, yeah, very weak, man. Sorry, NVDA. I'm a better trader than I am speller. So, wow. Okay, here's an idea right here. Let's talk about NVIDIA. This is at a crucial level, right? It didn't stop trading here today. This is not where the sell-off ended because of a coincidence. It ended here because there was support back here. Now, there are people who sold back here who at the time thought they made the right decision, but when the market moved higher, they were like, oh, I shouldn't have done it. I made a mistake. If this ever gets back down to where I sold it, I'm buying my shares back. You can see this in any freaking Reddit trading group. If you want my advice, teach yourself. Don't listen to all these other people. Listen to people like me that have a lot of experience. Because we know you got to come up with your own answer. You got to come up with your own style or strategy. There's no right way to do this. The right way is what works for you. Anyway, when things get to support, they tend to rally sometimes. Supports this large group of buyers, and sometimes the buyers start to get nervous that other buyers are going to be willing to pay higher prices, so they outbid each other. But considering how weak the market looks, I would not be too eager to get on the long side of this. I would wait, probably play it on the short side, see if this breaks. All right, now we know we've been looking at healthcare, which was really overbought. Yeah, financials. And we know there's a lot of ideas in the financials. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I've been doing this a long time. And sometimes the markets don't offer trades. Sometimes you got to stay on the sidelines. It's hard to do for people. They feel like they always got to be involved. But the best, think about it. You could go a year, all right, and just be on the sidelines. Maybe 5, 10, 15 times a year, a really, really, really good idea comes along. And that's when you get involved. Like all this stuff with GameStop and that stupid ass Roaring Kitty. That was some of the most easiest money I've ever seen in my career as a trader. Basically, when Roaring Kitty pumps something up, you wait about 10 minutes after the open and you buy puts. So there's going to be some really easy trading ideas in this financial sector. Look at this. This is just going freaking nuts. This isn't a biotech stock, everyone. It's the financial companies. And the biggest part of this sector is Berkshire Hathaway. Wow, look at that. So if you're not an options trader, that's okay, because we have all kinds of people there. But these financials are going to reverse. And one thing I want you to have on your radar screen is the FAS. This is an ETF that is designed to go in the opposite direction of the S&P 500 financial sector by 3 times. In other words, you could see how it's an inverse image, but about 3 times as much. In other words, if the financials roll over, and they will, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of waiting. There's going to be some good money to be made here. This is what I'm going to have my eyes on. This is probably what I'm going to be putting my money into. But I'm going to wait for this thing to turn. Markets can be overbought for a long time. If you try to pick the top, unless you're some kind of a super genius, you're going to be wrong. So just wait for the reversal to start and then jump in. And we're going to talk about the more tomorrow morning. Okay, I'll see you then.